So we have spawning on the bottom left-hand position as our yellow Terran, we have North America's Game. And in the top right-hand portion as our Zerg, we have Central Europe's Vorti. I don't want to change that. Let's try this again. There we go. So obviously Game is an A- or A Terran high, plays in a bunch of stuff, and Vorti, I'm not quite sure how strong of a player he is, but I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see how he holds up. Obviously Overlord heading where it needs to be, given it's a two-player map, really no way to mess that up, unless you just didn't know the map, and so that Game is going to go ahead and wall off here, which is fairly common. Could see mech, although a lot of times Terrans just expand behind. It's like even if they're going bio, it's just you can wall, you can be safe, you can prevent the scout from getting in. And again, I'll ask if anybody knows how to set up the resource counter and stuff like that. I don't know how to get that to work. Like I can add it to Brood War, but I can't get it to show up in StarCraft. Or sorry, in XSplit. Looks like we've got the pool going down, so yeah, we got overpool here from Vorti. And actually this wall is slightly different. This will be open to stuff. It's racks, depot above racks that's always tight, so this should be open to lings actually. So I'm not entirely sure why the barracks is placed there. Because, well, maybe it'll deny the drone scout though, which didn't even end up showing up though. And he's getting gas. This is gonna be mech. This actually slightly worries me, unless there's something I'm totally missing here. Almost always the racks above the depot is open to stuff. So I feel like lings are just gonna go run in here if they want, unless he's gonna go lift this and reposition it. And we've got a minor eBay going down here at the NAT. Drone just killed the SCV. But that's still got a lot of health on it. He does have lings out though. That's a nice thing, at least he wasn't planning on going like 12 hatch. And with those lings out, he'll be able to kill off this eBay. Just cancel on it here quite quickly. See SCV now heading out for Game. eBay getting quite low on health. There we go, canceled. And the hatch gonna go down for Vorti. Gas on the way. Looks like he's actually made a full complement, or more than a full complement. He's got 6 lings with 2 more on the way. And I'm really curious, is this actually tight? Because if it is, that's awesome and he's fine, but I didn't know actually you could do that with barracks above depot and have a wing tight wall. And oh, it's not. Looks like the Marines can slide right through. So this bunker, it's going to be close. I think it'll just be finishing like right as the lings arrive. I don't think he'll lose both Marines before he gets in there. And it is a nice choke. I mean, you can only attack 1 Marine at a time. And yes, the bunker does just finish. So Game will be totally fine from this. We tab back to the base. We can see first 100 gas is going to go to ling speed. So he might opt to do something with these lings, especially knowing there's this hole in the wall now. He might try to run by the bunker or something, pick off vulnerable targets, although there should be a vulture out here reasonably soon. And obviously with speed, it's a lot easier to deal with that. You can't actually surround the vultures and catch them until they're speedy vultures. But with slow lings, if the Terran player doesn't mess up, there's no reason to think you can actually kill the vulture with lings, unless he does something silly. So we've got 2 hatch lair, but the lair with the second 100 gas, first 100 gas here with ling speed, which is about 2/3 done right now. And Game scouting now, I would assume. Oh, he's trying to kill the SCV off. Oh, he's trying to go through, and he does manage to do it. And he will probably get back into the main for this if he's paying enough attention to dodge these 2 lings. And, oh, he's going to make it back in unless something glitches, kind of hangs as he tries to run back in. So that's going to be nice. He's going to get to see fully the timing on the lair. He'll probably actually see it finish given that time with the SCV. See, the armory is almost done. Second factory is almost done. And, oh, he manages to catch it. Game not too happy about that, so he won't get to see that. I mean, he's seen the NAT is done. He sees a creep. Well, he actually probably didn't quite see the creep going up. Lair about to finish. No sign of a lurker den or anything like that. So or hydra den. So we'll see. Spire. There we go. And where is this headed? Not sure. Not really a route you can sneak around here on match point. And you've got just the ramp down over here, and this entrance, but first vulture is out. Actually, he's made quite a few vultures. That is going to be speed. Not quite done yet. So a run by is a little bit of a threat, but he's starting to throw down some SimCity. I don't know if he'll finish it. And there are lings in place to kind of block. And I mean, if he tries to go over here, yeah, maybe, but at the same time, that makes it pretty easy for the lings to get at him. And he does have the ling speed done, and vulture speed is not quite done yet for game, although he's got this timed out so that there will be speedy volts by the time they get over to the base. And if we take a look here, we can see the Spire is like 100 HP away from being done. Okay, game is starting some Goliaths and getting his range up right now. And obviously that changes the whole game. Without range, they're okay, but with range, we all know how absurdly far Goliaths shoot. And most of the time shuts down need to harass with reasonable effectiveness. Oh, he's trying to go through, and he's actually... Oh, no, he actually does slip in. Alright, so we'll see how many lings he can pick off their speedy volts, so he can easily pick them all up, and all the drones are going to have to run. This is definitely not what Vorty wanted to have happen whatsoever. Game has lost one, but he's whittling down the ling numbers quite quickly. He's obviously scouted the Spire. It's a meter on the way, so that is good for him. He's going to be able to clean up these vultures with them, although game can, especially with the speed, can run around for quite a while and be obnoxious before the meters can actually kill them off. Although he's down to just one, he might go down here and pick off a drone or two before he dies, or he's going to get this. Oh, nice save. Again, turning into the sunken colony to keep it alive. Will he try to go to the natural, or will it get cleaned up beforehand? Here we go. Just running around being obnoxious, shutting down mining in the main. He unmorphs and remorphs to a better position. And this vulture just being so fast, it can just keep running away from the mutas. He's just buying time for himself, so nice play here. You can see game is actually not expanded out, so he's actually still on one base. There we go, one goes down. So this push could get really interesting, as this is one base. And here we go, here come the muta. No drone kills, but a little bit of delayed mining time, although at the same time his drone saturation isn't really that high, so he is still probably mining pretty effectively with all those transferred drones to the natural. Not quite the same as if the natural was already fully saturated. But here we go, gonna pick off this SCV or not? So we'll see what he can get done here. Goliath range is done, and there's like 10 Goliaths, it looks like. Am I counting that right? Yeah, 10, no, maybe 9. Either way, unless he catches the Goliath out of position, he's not really going to be able to do much in the way of economic damage right now. And unlike Marines, you know, I guess you can try, but most of the time you're not going to pick off stray Goliaths, as they just don't die in one shot the way Marines do. We can see he is getting his Hydra range, he's getting Hydra +1, and not, or is he going to take? No? No sign of the third hatch yet, though. So possibly we're going to see some sort of transition into Hydra Bus, which is fine, because, I mean, given that this is 2-fact, he does need to be a little more defensive than usual. And let's face it, I mean, there's a lot of Goliaths out, which probably can't be dealt with these mutas alone, but honestly, just a few Hydra or a few things. You should be safe from pure Goliath. And here we go, we're going to see a little head to the drive, but oh, Goliath shoots so far, one muta's got to die from that. Yes, he loses one. And now he's going to go into the main. There are a few turrets up, though, game looking pretty well defended, and actually has enough Goliaths to leave a few in both places, so really these mutas should not be able to do a whole lot of damage at all. Yeah, I don't know how to get the overlay to show up in XSplit. Like, I added to StarCraft, and nothing was showing up in XSplit. Like, it looks all good in StarCraft, and it looks really sleek and streamlined, but beyond that... Alright, so, cleaning up that scouting SCV, beginning to take his third base, so that's 2 more hatcheries being added. We've got range finished, we've got halfway to +1. Hydra speed is on the way, and is the game going to move out now? It looks like he might. What is the reinforcements of choice? So this is going to be a pure Goliath push here, and it is pretty beefy. I mean, let's face it, this is a lot of Goliaths, folks. He might be able to get Hydras out in time. I mean, his speed is on the way, he's got range, so we'll see. If he gets a few Hydra out, he should be able to deal with this okay. Although game, yeah, there we go. Now continuing his way across the map, continuing to pump those Goliaths. Might see a second or a few more factories here fairly soon, as he is now getting solidly onto base. And we actually see the Academy going up for scans. And yeah, he's gonna, oh, he's out of position though, and he doesn't have enough Hydra right now, I don't think, to hold this. So I think he's going to lose his third base. I'd be a little surprised if he's able to defend this game. Actually, is he going to walk past it? No, he's going to start picking up these meter, which need to get the heck out of here. And Overlord is going to go down as well. And now it's just this moment where Vorte needs to do what he can to try to get out enough army to clean this up. Imperial Goliath by themselves, not as terrifying as a few tanks here for Hydra, but that's a pretty beefy amount of Goliaths. That's like a control group and a few extra beyond that. Alright, here we go. Can he do it? Is microing back with it? There's just not that many Hydra though, and there's quite a few Muta. The good news is the Goliaths have a tendency to shoot at the Muta first, and the Hydra really are the bigger damage dealers in this fight. But it looks like Game is cleaning this up pretty quickly back at home, still not adding any factories. Money is actually a little bit high. He probably could start to do that. But here we come pushing in right now, and if Vorte is going to hold, it's going to be slowly and through reinforcements. He's not going to hold it in one clean swoop, but he might, just kind of like PvZ style, you might see him whittle down at the Goliath count until they're all gone, especially given that there's no reinforcements really coming from Game, who is actually, okay, so he is adding an extra factory or two and grabbing his third base behind this as the Hydra continue to come out for Vorte. So I think Vorte is going to be safe. I don't think Game is going to come in here now and straight bust him. But, you know, obviously that was nice. He got rid of all the Mutalists, picked off a bunch of stuff, and honestly hasn't taken that severe of losses. Killed an Overlord, and most importantly, killed off the third base. So, all of a sudden, Vorte is getting into a pretty ugly position. He's 2-base Zerg against 2-base Terran, and the Terran has a faster third than he does. Oh, I thought he was trying to sneak out on right click and wasn't it? Oh no. So he's trying to engage, trying to get rid of all these pretty nice target firing, but Goliath, which is pretty effective against Hydra, and Game is picking off a lot of these, although Game probably kind of wants to keep these alive as they are a source of map control, but we can see there's more units back at home, actually adding a few Marines, although they may have just been popped from the bunker. I'm not sure if he's actually making them with his barracks. We can see factories 5 and 6 going up, and Goliath's going down here to the bottom. We have his attack on the way, and that is actually just +1. He's had the armory for a while, obviously, like Goliath, but this is only his first upgrade so far. Hydra should be at +1 by now, right? Yes. Actually, they're halfway to +2. And there's an SCV up here. Is Game really going to double expand behind this? I mean, he doesn't really have the contain, so that'd be pretty interesting if he does offer this, but no, the money's still staying low. It might just be up there, so he can take the fourth conveniently when he wants, or just to watch for, I don't even know what you need to be watching for up there, though. Some weird drop path around the side. And looking at the supply, we can see 85 to 54, so pretty comfortable supply lead for Game. I mean, we expect Terran to be a little ahead of Zerg, but solid 30 supply head, and let's face it, it's 3-base Terran right now against 2-base Zerg. I'm pretty worried for Vorte. Vorte also has a lot of gas as well. He's running on 5 hatches. I don't think 2-base can sustain that. Like, maybe if you were going pure Ling or something, but I'm not sure that 2 gas... Is there only 2 on gas? Which I guess makes sense because he's got a pretty big gas bank, but yeah, there's only 2 on gas right now. So it looks like Vorte is going to move out, but there's 2 tanks. Yeah, I don't really see pure Hydra handling a few tanks and, you know, like a control group Goliath. I just don't see him being able to do much to this third base. Tank's pretty nicely positioned, actually kind of force the Hydra on the low ground before they engage. And Vorte just kind of moving around here, I guess looking for places Game may have tried to take expos. Not exactly sure about the army movement and why it's headed over this way. Unless he wants to try to come up here. Shut a base down. We've also got the vultures sneaking around. Oh no, the drone! The drone is going to die straight away to those vultures. So the third for Vorte getting further delayed, and this game, I feel like, is just going to start slipping hopelessly out of control. Oh, Hydra's here to defend. Mine's being laid, and yeah, Vorte's going to come up here to the 4th base. He's going to kill off the SCV, but nothing started there yet. So no big losses here for Game. And, I mean, it's a beefy number of Hydras. There's 1, 2, probably 3 control groups. Do I have hotkeys? No, I don't. Oh, I'm on top. I've got Game's hotkeys, so I can't tell you how big for sure. It looks like around 3 control groups. Reinforcing with Lings. and probably a lot of them given the hatch numbers, although, man, that is a lot of gas. So we'll see if he tries to run in here. Oh, no, oh, never mind. So here's Game's moment. That is so many tanks, though, and in this choke, like, I just don't see this doing a whole lot. That is, what, 8 tanks, and Hydra go down pretty quickly to tank fire. And yeah, there's a lot of links and stuff too, but this is pretty tight clumped area, and I don't see these getting on top of the tanks particularly easy. And we can see vultures being added as well. And Game at this point is just rolling. He's actually going to come out on the high ground now. And Zerg is going to take this opportunity to rush in. Some tanks seem to be on the low ground. Game's army is actually kind of caught in 2 pieces. So this is pretty nice for Vorte. He's going to take apart the first chunk of the army. So basically getting some tanks, but now the question is, does he pull out? If he pulled out, it would basically be a few tanks and Goliaths for no losses, but a little slow to pull out, and we can see a lot of Vorte's army evaporating in the process, and that is leaving him at 59 supply to almost 100 supply, so he's really only about half the supply of Game. He's only just now taking his 3rd base, and Game has been running on 3 for a while. He's producing off 6 factories, and the situation looks grim indeed for Vorte. Was that melee attack? Yeah, melee attack down here. And Game's +1 is done, +2 is, +1 armor is on the way. I've not seen a second armory yet, and that appears to be because it doesn't exist. Factory number 7 is on the way. And Vorte just continuing to produce a bunch of units, but he lost so much, and it's almost pure Ling now, which will be dealt with pretty easily, especially if Game lays a couple mines. I mean, all that's just going to die as he runs in, especially given there's not even an Overlord here to like spot for mines. And you can see a lot of vultures being produced, tanks continuing to be produced out of the 2 machine shop factories, and a few tanks here left over by this ramp. And, you know, I think what Vorte's doing, or I'm almost positive what he's doing, is he's waiting for Game to come out on the high ground and push so that he can try to kill it, but at this point, Game's army is just going to be pretty darn big. Although he's cut down the supply gap, he actually re-macroed that 30-40 supply pretty nicely. And we can see vultures here. Again, actually, there were no drones here. Only got 1 kill. But going to go ahead and mine up this base. And actually, Vorte does not have a lot of stuff. Okay, finally Hydra arrived. What I was going to say was just, oh, but it's going to die to mines. I think Vorte is going to lose his... He's got to come down here and defend this. Alright, he's finally sending Hydra down. He's probably sending Overlord down here with this as well. Because if you lost your 3rd to 4 vultures, that would be a little bit unfortunate to say the least. And, oh, a lot more vultures reinforcing, so we might see some mining up. I wonder if he's actually going to end up losing this. Oh, Hydras are nice because they instantly shoot the mine instead of goons who have to wait for the projectile to travel. Little difference in how those units fight the mines. Oh, losing all the Lings and the Hydra, and yeah, this base, I fear for him. I feel like this base is going to die to vultures. Okay, so he's actually gotten some muta out now. Finally spending that gas. He'll have something to try and target fire down the tanks. And yeah, this is indeed the first game, which is why I have the 0-0 counter up there. I guess I could use that to count sets too. Oh, the vultures in the main now, getting a bunch of drones. It looks like 4 kills so far, 5, 6, 7, 8 kill, 9 kill, 10 kill, probably 10 kills at least. Muta's being forced to come back, so he's not going to kill this hatchery off, but, you know, he's getting a bunch of drone kills, which is nice, especially since Vorte is, you know, pretty low eco at this point, given he's been on 2 base the entire game. And the last vulture is getting cleaned up, and at the same time, Game moving onto the high ground. He's comfortably on it. It's going to be a big surround from a lot of places. I'm not sure why the rest of the army isn't with it, but Ling's getting on top of the tanks. There's just tanks are so good against pure Hydra, and the mutas are not with this. He may again clean up this segment of the force, but at what cost? I mean, this is Vorte's army, and it is gone. He doesn't even clean up the stuff on the high ground, and look how many tanks Game has left behind. So really, he loses almost all of his army to kill only like 3 or 4 tanks and a couple Goliaths. He's now going to secure his 4th. And Vorte, he has a 3rd base, but he only just now transferred drones there to mine from it. You can see he has 63 to Game's 133 supply, and the situation is about as ugly as it can possibly get. And here we go. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit annoying. Okay, Game's got plenty of Goliaths though. But for a second I was like, did he overmake vultures and is he gonna have to wait longer? But now he's gonna go defend this, but he's gonna lose a few tanks, which is nice. Gonna pick up the last tank? Nope, gonna hightail it out of there. And as nice as it is to have a few mutas to shoot the tank, I don't think one group of mutas and apparently no other units, control group of Lings is going to save him from this. But Game is taking his time. He knows he's way ahead, and he's just going to mass up. He's at 1-1. He's not going to 2-1 or 1-2. But his army for Vorti is just not... I just don't see it being able to deal with this. He's trying to drone, trying to get eco going, but oh no, the muta! There goes 2, 3. So losing quite a few there, and Goliath coming in from both sides. Not sure if we'll be able to get a fourth. Doesn't look like it. But hey, I walk across the map. I do what I want. And a bunch of Lings now moving towards the high ground, and by a bunch, I mean at this point, it's really not a bunch. It's just like a tiny handful. Gonna try to go over the third. Ling Run Bys are pretty good against just siege tanks if they get there in time. Okay, we're just gonna run past and suicide on the mine. But he is gonna get the tanks, although Game is right there, really close by to clean up. Is he gonna get this? Oh, they're not cracking this because he's on layers. So yeah, I'm just thinking we're 20 minutes into this game, and then I'm like, oh, these Lings aren't attacking very fast. But of course, that makes perfect sense. More Hydra. But it's I kind of feel like we're waiting for Game to move out and kill Vorti. Because there's no way Vorti defends. I just don't see it happening. You know, I guess Game could decide he's going to spam right-click his army consistently around Vorti's units. A few more Lings running up here, and this tank is going to go down. So yeah, Lings are pretty annoying in this regard, especially as you get more bases. You could probably see, you could probably move out on the map a little bit more, or at least lay more mines so these Lings aren't constantly running over here to the fourth. And he is going to pick off a turret, a few SCVs. Well, no, actually, no SCVs since the Goliaths now arriving to clean those up quite nicely. We can see Meta's trying to come in here, but unable to do anything as there are plenty of Goliaths. And the third for Vorte reaching a more reasonable saturation. Still a lot of gas for Vorte, so I mean he could pop a lot of mutas if he could ever get the minerals. He'd have a lot of gas to make lurkers, although that isn't usually as common as max how you get defilers. But lurkers under swarm are pretty nice. You can actually, they're really nice for the drops too, where you make a swarm drop, and then you basically can't kill them. So lurkers under swarm are basically invincible, except for maybe if you burrow them really close together and they splash each other, or something else splashes them. So here we go. Here is the push of Game. 170 supply versus 90. Hydra Muta moving in right now. Game upping to siege up his tanks, and his leader is just going to die so fast. The Hydra going to die in like the first or second tank volley. And I think at this point there's just not going to be enough units to deal with this mech push whatsoever. Upgrades are pretty good as well, and yeah, that army is rolled over. I think the third is going to die, although Game might just push straight for the natural, but nah. He's just going to go kill off the third. Kill the end of Vortex Econ. We can see a few Lings sneaking out this way and this way as well. And Game anticipating this. He's got Goliath. He's got a wall. Not sure where these SCVs are headed. He's back to another base. And we can see, there we go. Game moving up on the ramp now. The Storm Hydra here being annoying, but he's going to go ahead and take down that sunken colony. And these Lings are actually going to run over to the third base, which is defended by only one tank. And what's the target going to be? It's going to be that tank. We'll see if Game's going to pay attention to it. Micro back or just doesn't care at this point. Nope. This is the tank, but you know, he got this. He's going to get the third. He got the army. And this is pretty much it. Is the last big counterattack from Vorti. There's actually only two tanks here. I think he's going to die unless he brings this stuff up real quick. Pull it back. There we go. And here comes the rest of Game's little army. Oh, it actually picks off the tank, which is a nice moral victory. A few mines being laid, finally. And yeah, 3 Lings just not going to draw anything off fast enough. And at the same time, Game secures his 5th. And he's actually just going to rain his battery down. And there's nothing left for Vorti at this point. A few voltage coming up here, but nothing to raid. And there goes the third base. All the drones there, obviously dead, or going to die as well. Yeah, the Lings have speed. Speed was like the first thing you researched. They don't have crack though, because yeah, kind of hard to have crack with that. So yeah, 180 supply, 185 supply against 56. And as you can see, there's 20 minerals left. So this is what Vorti has. Yes, the fly muta over Goliath actually usually not very effective. 2 or 3 muta perish. He's gonna annoy this base though, but you know, at what point, you know, does it really matter? The game's still mining from 3 bases, and Vorti has nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, he's got 137 minerals. I take that back. He could make... Oh, he's almost up to... He could make 3 pairs of links, or 6 links. And there we go. Now game is going to move up to the natural. Here come the last few lings being donated, and honestly, at this point, I'm not really sure why Vorti is still here. I'm not sure what he expects to make happen. You can see game had cleaned that up just fine with Elias. So 5-base game, mining off like 4 versus mined out Vorti as Amuta or 3. Okay, or 8. But I think they're just going to die right now. The Goliath is being completely fired down by game, and Vorti has to say GG. So game goes up 1-0 and set. If anybody knows how to fix the graphic stuff, that would be fantastic, but I don't know how. If you mean that, yeah, I guess I can remove that. If anyone knows how to make it show up in XSplit, that would be cool, but it shows up, I add it to StarCraft, and it looks all sexy over in StarCraft, but then I drop my screen region with XSplit, and nothing shows up. Yeah, I run it as admin. Like, it adds to StarCraft just fine, and it looks really good in StarCraft, but it won't show up in XSplit. It's like I've got it running, but nothing happens. It just like ghosts its way through there. So if any of you guys know how to fix that, feel free to tell me right now, and I'll go ahead and fix it. Otherwise, we'll have to press on with the old school, less smooth thing. Proper player in plugin. I'll tell you what I did. Let me double check. Remember where I put that. Liquid overlay is what I'm thinking of. Liquid overlay. It's the wrong one though. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, when I run it, I just click Run as Administrator, and then we're good to go. Like, let's see if you guys, tell me if you guys see this, because I don't. Like, I see it on my Brood War right now. I've got the whole banner at the top. I've got the resource counter, but I don't think it's showing up for you guys in XSplit. In game, I can set it. Let's see here. Like, I tell it to show game icons. Like I said, it all shows up. It looks totally fine in my StarCraft, but I don't see it showing up in XSplit. Yeah, I don't think you did. You see that? Well, you see a banner, but not the right banner, because I have a manual banner in there. Disable layered window. Where do I do that? Is this a liquid overlay setting or an XSplit setting? Okay, let's see, where do I do this? Disable layered overlay. Don't disable, okay, okay, tool options. Wait, XSplit has no tools option. It says tools activate delay server or my recordings, and I can't click general settings. Oh, I probably have to stop the broadcast to go to general settings. No, okay. Here, I'll run a replay. I'll run the same game if you want to see a replay running. Game we just watched. So, not like a spoiler or anything. Alright, let me check out what Fold's going to do. I'm going to have to shut the stream off, though, I think, to get to general settings. But I don't think it shows up for you guys. Like, if the resource counter happened to start showing up, you can let me know. But I'd be pretty surprised if it just did.